everybody, it's your favorite barroom psychiatrist, Ralphie the Drunk, and I'm here to save the day and answer all your questions about the insanity that is a superhero. Today we're going to be talking about none other than Vic Sage, also known as the Question. The Question first appeared in Charleston Comics, Blue Beetle #1, 1964. He was created by Steve Ditko. Uh, that guy. We all know him. And later, the rights were purchased by DC Comics in the early 80s. I forget the date, it doesn't matter. And eventually, he was thrown into the DC universe as a character. And he isn't blightful in his objectivism. That's right, he's an objectivist. What does that mean? I wish Pocan Joe is here. He probably could explain it better. But basically, he suffers from black or white thinking. Things are right, things are wrong. Period. No gray area. And it's weird to be that weird. Anyway, this also makes him a conspiracy theorist. Well, he's portrayed a lot as a conspiracy theory guy, but often finds out he's not that crazy after all. Sometimes he's often liked to what's that guy's name? Rorschach. He's kind of like him, only just a more blank face. Speaking of the blank face, the mask that he wears, it's called what is it? Pseudoderm, which is the top layer of a sponge. I don't know why that's a thing, but anyway. And often he uses a gas as the binding compound. So it's like located on his belt, it gases up and the mask comes on. And same thing. It's got kind of add to this whole air of mystique to him. But why the blank face? Why not have something on there? Well, this kind of plays to why he's such a good interrogist. Uh, Picture, if you will, you're at a local grocery store, not a grocery store, but a department store, and you're talking to this lady who's dressed very fine, but you can't get a read on her because her facial expressions aren't moving in any way. They're blank as all day long, and then you realize you're drunk and you're talking to a mannequin. At no point did it give up any information. Think of it that way. It is probably easier. In other words, when people are being interrogated by him and he's screaming, answer the question, he's actually saying two things. One, you will speak to me. And two, I'm not going to give you any information because there's no facial structure for you to follow. No raising of an eyebrow, no crook of a smile. Therefore, the indifference that I actually have towards you as I question you can often be intimidating in itself. Well, that's a lot to say. But where is the crazy at, you may ask? Well, hold on. One, he suffers from dissociative identity disorder. The Question and Vic are, in his mind, two different people. They act differently. He always refers to it in a third person instead of himself. Two is paranoid personality disorder, which he kind of shares with Rorschach. They kind of buddy up on that one. But most of all, and probably the most important thing, is OCD. He suffers from OCD. He has all the characteristics. Here's some of the characteristics, and you tell me down in the comments below if you agree. Uh, Excessive preoccupation to details, rules, lists, orders, organization, or schedules. Perfectionism so extreme that it prevents the task from even being completed in some cases. The devotion to work and productivity, expenses, leisures, and relationships often don't happen. In other words, people that suffer from actual OCD, not the person who's like, I just want to be in charge of things and have things my way. So I'm going to tell everybody I have OCD so I can get what I want. But a legitimate person with OCD is so debilitated by it that they can't actually even function in some cases. They're doubting, rigid, controlling, have no humor, and often seen as being miserable. The underlying anxiety arises in a perceived lack of control over the world around you and the understanding. In other words, you don't know reality very well. So be careful when you tell people you have OCD, because then you're It's not a good thing. You don't get what you want when you're crazy. You got to get better. Anyway, another interesting thing is his superpower. It's listed in the Wicca DC fandom as his. You ready for this? This is ridiculous. Investigation. That's it. That's his superpower. In other words, he doesn't have any superpowers. He's just a gumshoe and classically drawn gumshoe. Over the years, he's gone through some changes. Like there was this time with a mullet. It was a weird time for everybody. He's also has a protege that is a female now. It's basically a female version of the Question because everybody needs to be represented. So that needs to happen. But overall, he's just another person with unreasonable and inflexible demands that he places on things. We can also look at his concept of time and connection. He's often seen using a board and putting, lines to things. And it's very well outlined in the Justice League Unlimited cartoon, where he was kind of seen as a conspiracy theorist to some degree. But is he wrong? Just because you're a conspiracy theory doesn't mean you're wrong. But in this case, you can be seen slightly insane. And also his preoccupation with time in the current comic book, having to break everything down on a linear scale of time of when things exactly happen so it makes sense. This is also very often used in these comic books. Time and the linear of it. It's structured, it's ordered, it does not care about your feelings. It is a number that is fixated on something. So there it is, guys. The question is he a basket full of crazy? Should we really be letting this guy run around a city called Hub? By the way, calling your city Hub, really, why don't you just call it Ghettoville? Like, who wants to go there? That's weird. Anyway, I gotta get out of here. I got a lot to do. Seriously, I bought a 12 pack. It is somebody's got to drink it because nobody else is here. All right, guys. Have a good day, weekend, whatever it is. Bye.